Raven.
And I'm Farron here, and this is the podcast where we try to answer the question, can two creatives really break free from the 9-to-5 grind and find success in a more fulfilling creative life?
Woo.
How are we doing this week?
Better than 2 weeks ago, where we weren't here, which
You
I'm
were
sure
not.
we'll mention. But yeah, today I'm doing very well. I'm a little bit tired, but I am glad to be on the mend.
Been a bit under the weather, haven't you?
I'll ask you how you're doing first, and then we'll get into why we missed last week.
I'm good.
You're good.
That's easy, I'm good.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I'm good. We've had a good couple of weeks, missed an episode, but we're back now. I'm feeling fine. As long as you're feeling fine, we're good to go.
I am now. So yeah, not last week, 2 weeks ago when we went to our podcast, I was poorly for the whole weekend, and then recovering for like a week after. So I think even last time we mentioned that I'd had a chronic fatigue flare-up and that I was recovering from that. And then on Saturday, I slit my finger open and fainted, which was delightful. And I'm not a squeamish person for blood. I think it was because I hadn't like eaten yet, and so I just wasn't right. And then on the Sunday, I had an abdominal migraine, which is, as it sounds, horrendous. And then I just felt like my insides were being stabbed for 3 days after that. And
Great.
so then we were like, by the time I was better, we were like, well, we may as well just wait until the next round. So then we're like back in sync with all the other ones that we've got planned. So yeah, I I had a very unfortunate time. But thankfully, I'm all better now and recovered and all good. Which is fine.
Back to normal.
Yes.
Everything's good.
Yes.
And the good
Touch
news
wood.
is...
Touch wood. I can't afford to be poorly again.
the good news is that despite missing that episode, January was still the most successful month for our podcast so far.
Amazing.
With the most downloads per month since we started. So thanks everyone for joining us on those. It's really appreciated. But we are back to normal now. So we're back today and we'll be back in 2 weeks' time.
Yes,
And ever so often. Until one of us is ill again, anyway.
One of us, you mean until I'm ill again?
Yeah, more likely.
It's always me.
Aw.
But yeah, like we were thinking about it that morning when I was poorly, and I just got worse and worse and worse. And we thought, you know what, it's just not worth it. Like I would have been hanging, like I couldn't move at all. But we're back now, we're all good, and we've got lots of exciting things to tell you about because we've now got 4 weeks of things to cover rather than 2. But you know,
It has been a mad 4 weeks. It has.
Yes.
We've got a lot done. We've got a lot done.
You especially have got a lot done.
Oh, yes.
I gotta give a moment to you, my love, because you've outdone yourself.
Thank you very much.
So what have
Appreciate
you
your
been doing?
kind words. Unsurprisingly, like I've mentioned a few times in the past already, I've been editing more Mario videos.
Did more Mario.
I've had such a good time. I've broken the back of it now. I'm all caught up. I've learnt so much, and it's almost annoying, really, that I've learnt so much because I've started editing videos, and then by the time I've got to the last one, I've got so much better and everything's so much smoother and cleaner. And then I've gone back to check something on the first ones, and I'm like, oh no, I can do this better now. So I've ended up almost editing them twice a lot of times. But it's fine. It's all worth it in the end. So I'm at a point now where I have 6 episodes finished, ready for scheduling, good to go. First one dropping tomorrow, which we're really excited to get out and start the ball rolling. So they'll be launching on Mondays from now on over on our YouTube channel. Really excited to get them moving. First one was a bit of a funny one in particular because the first one was actually like the 10th episode we recorded. Joey's food time. Here on run. He's so fast. You never see him move so fast. We missed recording the first couple of episodes because we had a technical issue, and so we've had to go back and re-record that segment because we didn't want to record a whole playthrough without including the first couple of levels. So we went back and re-recorded everything, which means the first 2 episodes look and sound way better than the later ones because they were recorded way after. So we've improved like all of our microphones. Like we've literally got entire new microphones and whole new setup since we started the streams for that game. So that's turned out quite interesting. You've got 2 episodes that are really sharp and polished and are way more professional, and then it goes back to our first streams.
I mean,
funny.
you're being a bit hard on yourself there. I still think they all look really good.
Oh yeah, no,
I've been watching you edit them, and I've been like, this is really good. Like I've watched YouTube, I would say, on basically a daily basis since I was about 10 years old, and that's from like when there was no editing to people who now have loads of like really cool transitions and like custom infographics and all that sort of thing. I wouldn't look at it and go, oh, that's really amateur. It's really good. It's just you've gotten even better.
Yeah.
Which is nice in a way that you can see the difference, because it's horrible to spend, how you've spent God knows how many hours, like
quite a few now. It's been a big job.
Editing all of these episodes, and so it'd be sad if you got to the end of it and you were like, it looks like the first one I did.
Yeah.
Kind of be like, well, But no, they look really, really good. And it's, I think the reason we lost the initial bit of content was we started filming the episodes. I want to say we started in like October or November.
Yeah, I think it was October.
And we had really bad weather here in the UK. And we had like internet cut out. So the power was on, but the internet cut out. And for some reason, it made the recording just like stop and start. So we lost the first like 3 hours of footage, which is fine because we can go back and do it again. So it's not like a big deal, but it does mean that there's now this change in quality. But it's still absolutely fine. Like, it's by no means.
It's more like the overlays and stuff, isn't it? Because we had like our original overlays for those first streams, and we didn't have like both of our faces on at once for the first couple. It was just your face. Maybe I was having a bad hair day that day. I don't know.
I mean,
so it's things like that, but you can clearly see the progression of how we've improved over time, which is quite nice to see in a way.
Yeah, it's not just your editing skills. It's like our microphones, our camera setup, the overlays, just like all the different scenes we've got on the stream deck. Like there are so many aspects to this now. What's that, Roadcast is it called?
Yep.
That we've got so many things now that help improve our workflow. That it you can really tell each time we get like a new bit of gear, like it upgrades a little bit. So that's nice to see that all this money has been
we have come a long way, and watching these kind of show that is quite nice.
Yeah, I mean, and I say that I don't want to discourage people either from like any kind of creative thing, because this is like talking about streaming specifically, but even if you only have like budget watercolors, it's still better to start with that than to invest in the highest spec stuff you can straight away. Like we waited for quite a while before we got these things, and we got nearly all of it on sale in Black Friday. We didn't pay full price for them. We got them bit by bit, not in one go. So like if you don't have really high quality microphones and cameras and all these sorts of things, like that shouldn't discourage you from giving it a go.
Definitely.
But it does mean that there is space for you to upgrade if you do want that, which is nice to know that there's like space to kind of fiddle with that sort of thing.
For sure. Like a lot of the time you don't know what you need until you get going anyway. So it's good to just get the ball rolling. Don't go waiting for the ultimate bit of gear, because it's not actually going to change your life.
And that applies for like all creative things.
Definitely.
Just make
start
a start
today. Absolutely.
Yeah, because then you can know what you need. And also like you don't want to invest loads into something that you don't enjoy. Like we could have bought all of this probably back then, but if we'd gotten a month in and gone, oh, we hate this, like it would have been pointless. So
I don't
definitely
want to do this anymore.
Just always just make a start.
Yeah, exactly. Top advice. I love that. Always.
It's what we should have done. We
waited for so long.
We waited about 2 years to actually start streaming, and we had a lot of the stuff to start. We just kept putting it off for like made up reasons. In the end, really, they weren't legit concerns. Looking back on it, at the time it was like, oh, this, that, and the other. But looking back, I'm like, why didn't we just do it?
Now we're like 5 months in, and we're having such a great time doing it. So why didn't we do this stuff ages ago? So that's all good. It's coming along nicely. So I've got those episodes ready to go. I've got, I think, another 7 episodes chopped up in segments, like episode shapes, ready for like more precise editing. So that will be the zooms, the smoother transitions, the highlighting funny moments, that sort of stuff, as well as making the highlights for each. And then we've done our latest stream the other day. That was another 4 hours, I think we went for. So that's probably going to be another 6 episodes or so in there. Yeah. So I've still got to fully chop and edit all of that as well. So I do have a lot to go, but what we've got now at the moment is 6 episodes sorted. So for the next 6 weeks, I have all that time to prepare the next batch. So I'm going to dive straight in and carry on going. For each episode, I have to make highlights for socials. So those involve 2 clips for each one. So I've got to pick 60 seconds worth of highlights from each episode. I've got to make that into a landscape trailer for things like Facebook, or then I've got to make vertical ones for socials like TikTok and Reels and YouTube Shorts. So that's the more time-consuming bit, because I have to duplicate the video twice to copy out our faces from it. Then I've got to use masks to pick just that piece. But I've got such a smooth workflow for it now, because I've done it so many times, that it's going by much quicker. That's the good thing.
Yeah, every time you get a little bit faster, don't you?
We've made nice templates to make it smoother as well, so it's working much better now. The first couple took a long time, but it's all good now. It's coming along nicely, so I'm feeling really good about where it is. I can't wait to start getting them out into the world, so really happy with that. What else have I got? Oh yeah, we made a bit of a boo-boo recently, and this was a bit of a rabbit hole to sort out, and I still haven't entirely fixed it.
Yeah. I was thinking, I was like, oh my god, what did we do?
So yeah, we've encountered a funny problem with our recent stream, and that was that one of our viewers pointed out that our audio was really far out of sync, and that is a problem. And the reason for that goes back down a bit of a rabbit hole. As I pointed out in the past, with our It Takes Two footage, some of our audio was out of sync for the recordings, so I had to manually slip and move it and everything. So I've resolved all that. I've resolved that by taking off the sync offset that we had on OBS. I'd left that on by mistake a long time ago, and I figured that was what was causing this recording to be out of sync. So that's all good. I fixed that. Then when we were streaming the other day, one of our viewers told us that our audio was out of sync, and we've never had that on stream before.
No.
And I figured that can only be because I changed this audio sync offset. So I put it back on again, and then the stream was fixed, but then the recording was broken. So it's like we can't have both at the same time. If we have the offset on at minus 333 milliseconds, the stream is flawless. If we take it off, then the stream is out of sync, but the recording is. I can't get my head around that. So I haven't found a permanent solution yet, but that was something to be wary of for sure. Look at your sync offset, because it is a pain.
And we can't just take because you have an option on Twitch just to download like the stream that you did, but that means that we don't get any control over like editing as much, so like everything's compressed into one flat layer rather than being able to pick apart like the gaming footage and the microphone, like the different microphones and like the music levels. It's then all just like sandwiched into one, which for some things isn't too bad, but for the Mario editing that we do, you kind of need to be able to edit or at least have control over all of those channels. So it's not like we can just rely on that. And sometimes I feel like the export isn't as good quality either. No. I feel like it lowers it sometimes. Not every time, but sometimes I feel like it's not quite as good. So we can't use that as like a backup.
You definitely get better results recording it all separately.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fine. We've got it sussed, so it's fine as it is, as long as the stream is fine, because that's the most important thing.
Yeah, because you can shuffle the audio. So
the only thing with that is, and this is what caught me out, especially with the It Takes Two footage, because at that point I didn't realise that those audio channels were out of sync straight away. So I'd start chopping and editing everything, and only realised afterwards that there was a delay on some of the audio. But at that point, I've got, instead of one solid video file, I've got loads of video files, and then I have to move every single one back.
All of them.
It was a pain. It was a nightmare, and that's why that footage hasn't made it out yet, because it was so much more of a problem.
Yeah, but
so now
it means going forwards, we'll know. All of it now will be fine.
Moving
we do
forward
more
is
of it.
fine.
Yeah.
You just got to remember two things: move the audio before you make any chops to your video footage, and when you finish streaming, leave a long enough buffer to catch the tail end of your audio. Because if you instantly say, hey, we're done now, bye, and then stop streaming, your delayed audio will never happen. So your game audio will end far before your actual stream does. So your video footage will carry on going, but you'll have no audio for it, which I had to fix very creatively the other day.
You did, didn't you? You told me about that. I forgot.
I had a loop of the Mario music running in the background while we were just chatting, saying goodbye and everything. But then the music dropped out because of the buffer, and we were still going, oh yeah, blah blah blah. But the music was gone. It was just awkward silence.
Like that.
That is how we sound, as you all know by now. So I had to find that exact loop of audio, and I cut it, and I moved it back to where it would loop naturally at the end of the audio file, added a little crossfade, and it just carried on playing, like duplicated. You'd never know it was a little edit, so...
You'll have to go and try and find which episode it is now. You have to go back, try and listen for the ending and be like... Oh, I don't know, is it this one? Like counting the beats for it.
Oh, dear. So, that was our little cock-up of the week. It's always good. We always want to, be honest about the things we've learned and the mistakes we've made along the way. So it's always good to have one of those to talk about.
But I was talking to a friend about that the other day, actually, about how healthy it is to make mistakes, because you don't really learn anything from doing things right the first time, because you don't necessarily know why they're right the first time, like what's made them work. And actually, you learn so much from making mistakes, and also for in the future as well, that mistake might be what you actually need to fix another thing.
Definitely.
So it's much better to actually just make a lot of mistakes.
It's always the best way to learn. Never be afraid of making mistakes.
The way that I learn any of the Adobe suite is literally from opening it and just pressing buttons, because you can't break it. If something really goes bad, you just open and close the software again, and like that's as bad as it can be, as long as you're not doing work for a client or something. Like I'd open a picture of Joey and I'd just start messing around with things and just seeing what they did. And now I can confidently use pretty much any of the Adobe suite, because a lot of the tools kind of overlay with each other anyway. But I've not done any formal training or lessons for
just trial and error.
I've literally just opened it and gone, I'm going to see what this button does. So, it's really good to learn that way, because what you find as a mistake one time might actually be something really helpful later down the line as well.
Exactly, for sure. So that's all good. That's what I've been up to. What have you been up to?
I've been working on our branding, because that's quite a nice thing for me to do when I'm poorly. We've only been doing streams about once a week lately, not only because I was poorly, but also from the amount of editing that Farina's been doing. It's been hard to kind of do any more than that, but also because I was poorly, it was hard to get ready and feel like talking to people. So I've been doing lots of branding, and I've been doing some of the subscriber badges, working on custom panels. I've done new overlays, and we've also been doing some reels as well. So first of all, I'll talk about the subscriber badges. We hadn't really added much to the additional Twitch branding. So we had things like, our timeline and overlays and stuff, but we hadn't really delved into customizing sort of personal areas of it, is what I would call it. And so the subscribe badges was something that we wanted to really get on, because it encourages people to subscribe. There's more of a benefit there. So I used Canva and made some little froggy stickers, which are really, really cute, really wholesome. I must say, actually, with using Canva to make emotes or badges, you cannot make all of the sizes, because it only allows you to go down to, I think it was 50 by 50 pixels that we found.
Something like that, wasn't it?
So for the
really
badges and the emotes, you need one which is I can't remember what the biggest one is, 80 or something, and then it's 36. And then it's 18.
Isn't it?
You cannot
really
do
small.
The 36 pixels by 36 and the 18 by 18 on Canva. You have to use something external. You can use, if you Google image resizer, you'll be able to get things, but you can also use, like Photoshop and all that sort of stuff as well. So depending on what you have access to, but you cannot do all of it in Canva, which we
That was a
found
shame, wasn't
out,
it?
Which is,
It's an extra step.
it's not the end of the world. Like it's not like too inconvenient. It's just like when you've already been doing stuff, it's like, oh, I've got to do another thing now. But they all look really good, really cute. And then we also added flares to them as well. So you get a flare is like a little kind of overlay for the badges to show what kind of subscriber they are. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And so we've got a silver wreath of like leaves and a golden wreath that has little flowers on it, just to kind of differentiate the two different tiers. That all looks really nice. And then we've been working on the custom panels for the About Me page. So that's like you get if you look at the Twitch About Me page, you can just add in like plain text, or you can add in nice little designs as sort of headers for each area. And we didn't have like anything. We had like the little bio bit, which says like who we are and what we do, but we didn't have any additional information in there. So we've not added it into Twitch yet, but we've made all of the little headers. So we've got like About Me, socials, commands, schedule. There's like, all that sort of thing. Any information that you may want to know is gonna be there, which is really nice. And it means we can also tie it into the rest of our branding as well.
Yeah, visually it looks really cool.
Yeah, they look really nice. I'm really happy with them. And then I feel like I talk about overlays every other time because I just keep deciding that we need new ones and
I
to
could
change.
do better.
That's the thing. I feel like we've made everything in such small amounts that really this sort of thing is better when you sit down and you like create a brand brief to begin with, because then everything you make after that is more consistent. So we had some things which were kind of in like one tone and some things which were in another, and I literally went back and I didn't scrap it per se, but I just went through and I took out only the elements that I was really happy with. So we looked at the existing overlays and we changed some of the colours slightly. They are very subtle changes. So they're the main, like the green, I think it's the green that you can see on this overlay if you're on YouTube. This green stayed, but like the browns changed slightly. Basically just changed it all to work a bit more harmoniously and together, just a bit more of like a nice flow. And then we redid all of the overlays to have the same stroke width, which is such like a silly thing. I didn't need to change it, but it annoyed me that some of the designs and images had certain stroke widths and some of them had different. It all just looked kind of mismatched, and so I went through and I just changed all of it. Maybe we can insert a picture of like the new ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, that all like I think it looks so much nicer, the new ones.
It does.
Like it didn't take me an awful amount of time, but I feel like it has been really beneficial.
Definitely.
It just looks. It looks more like a finished, completed brand rather than just like a suggestion of a brand. I feel like that's what we had before, was the suggestion of something, and this is now like a nice, clean, crisp look at it.
Yeah,
actually,
sure.
I could make the Creative Quest one match.
I was just going to say, you could probably update that to go with it now.
Shall I do that as well? Next time,
See that on the next episode.
come and look at this and it will match. Yeah, I'll do that because it is so much nicer. And then you can see what I'm on about. So yeah, that was all fine. There was no hiccups with it other than the thing with Canva, but it was, it wasn't major. There was nothing that was like, oh, what do we do? But yeah, we just really looked through everything and made sure all of it was consistent across the board, so that it doesn't matter where you see us, it all looked the same and more together, I think is a good word.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the last thing we've been doing is reels. So my sort of New Year's resolution was to do... Is it
resolution? Yeah,
it's resolution.
That's the one. Yeah,
it's because it's like a Camry design. I was like, resolution? I was
That's
like, is it
catchy.
because I'm talking about like editing?
That's so funny.
So yeah, my New Year's resolution, that's really weird, was to make a reel a week, to upload a reel a week. So I could make a batch of them, but I wanted to upload one a week. And I have met that for January, which I am really happy for because that's like my best streak
Done really well.
in Reels ever. I think it's because I work in marketing. I just don't have the like capacity at the end of the day to continue doing more social media content. But yeah, we've had 4 different Reels go onto Instagram and TikTok, and it's been quite the experiment and journey. So Instagram, what are you doing? What is
Terrible.
that? Come on, algorithm, fix it. And it's one of the reasons I don't bother as much as well, is because Instagram is like so hard to break. And like people talk about like, you know, different like hacks and timings and algorithm things you can do to boost it and tagging this, that and the other. Instagram is just a little bit terrible for it, honestly. It's looking to get better soon, now that TikTok's like really their main competitor and also has the shop feature, as before only Instagram had the shop feature. But it isn't better yet, and so it means that your reach is basically horrendous on there. And we did sort of an experiment where the audio, the video, the hashtags, the mentions, the descriptions, literally copy and paste exact video on Instagram and TikTok went up. So there was no differences. Audio the same, description, literally everything was the exact same. Time it uploaded, exact same. Where we shared it, exact same. And TikTok beat it by crazy numbers every time. I will just open my phone quickly just to say.
Yeah.
So the one that's done the best has been a video which is of the Ever After Garden in London, which looks like, if you've played Endwalker from Final Fantasy XIV, it looks like the Elpis flower fields. On Instagram, that had 78 views. And they were uploaded at the exact, literally identical.
It's not even worth the time of doing it.
On TikTok, 11,900.
It's a hell of a difference.
They are the exact same. And the one that I did recently, which was of me and Farinir doing mushroom decor shopping in London. On Instagram, that one did actually perform a little bit better. It got 195 views.
Oh, that's much better.
Yeah, which is much better.
Relatively.
As TikTok got 500.
Still
Still not as big of a difference. But considering all of the content is the exact same,
yeah,
that is a big difference. Because you can't put it down to like which one used which hashtags or the time of day, and my following is bigger on Instagram than it is TikTok.
Yeah.
On Instagram I've got 600 and something, on TikTok it's 140.
That's it. So it's not that.
So it's not even that.
Definitely not that.
And my TikTok I've had open since my first video was July 2022. So because some social media channels will kind of boost newer channels when they start posting. So it's not even that. I've had it for 2 years now. Well, yeah, like 1 to 2 years. So it's not even like a initial booster to it. There's literally no kind of explanation for it. Which the takeaway from that, as someone who also like works as a marketer, is that if you're spending time making content anyway, put it everywhere. Everywhere you can put it, do it. Twitter, Pinterest, Reddit, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. If you can post it somewhere, do it.
Yep.
Don't only go for the optimal channels or the only ones that you do well at, because yeah, okay, that video on TikTok got 11,000 views, but it doesn't tell you what that translates to. So Instagram might have actually ended up getting us more people engaging with us, people coming to the stream than TikTok did. It could have been like empty views. It doesn't look that way, but you never know for sure how impactful those views and engagement are. So if you're already going to the extent of making content and spending hours making it, just put it everywhere, and then it will either do well or it won't, or at least it will show that you're being consistent. Because some people don't use some platforms and all that sort of thing. So yeah, that's been quite insightful. Nice to know that TikTok does have some more potential for breaking through, and like all of the engagement I've had has been primarily Final Fantasy people. Like if I look at my recent followers, they are all like Final Fantasy profile pictures of their characters, which is like good to know. You know, finding out little niches like that is really helpful. I know now that if I really want to push Final Fantasy content, TikTok's a great place to do that because people are there and they're wanting to engage, and so it's definitely worth sort of doing some kind of audience research into what your niches and things are, and sometimes you can pick that, and sometimes it has to be kind of, you know, dictated to you in a way. You know, like don't make content you're not happy making, but thankfully I love Final Fantasy and I can lean into that there more than other platforms.
We stream that a lot,
so you know, we can,
that's beneficial.
We can post more there. Like, you know, normally we only post on Instagram stories and Facebook and Twitter when we go live, but now I'm going to start adding it to TikTok as a little like short or something that we're going to go live, or, you know, just say when we'll be doing it that week, something like that.
Yeah,
just mentioning it there, isn't it? Because actually there's a lot of people there who are interested in it, and I wouldn't have found that out if I hadn't posted to all the platforms that I could. So definitely, you know, shop around for engagement and audiences, because it's worth the time, isn't it?
Definitely, it makes a hell of a difference.
Yeah, but it's nice to get some movement on that. We haven't really pushed our personal marketing yet. We've talked about it a lot on here, but we haven't like started properly. As this year we've, you know, it's a primary focus for us. So yeah,
I think we listed that as our goals in the last episode, didn't we?
Yeah,
on our start of the new year.
Yeah, it was.
So that one's going well so far.
Yeah,
11,000 views on a video straight away.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's a good one to start with. It'd be sad if that's like the peak of it now, but like
yeah, hopefully not.
You know, the more that we do, the more that we'll learn. And if I find anything out, I will share it here. And you can go online and look at TikTok guide, Instagram algorithm guide. You know, there's lots of things that really do help if you don't know anything about it. Like definitely Google around. Don't go for sponsored things. When you Google, it will say in like the top left of the description if it's sponsored or not. Do not go for anything sponsored because it's often not necessarily true. Go for like whatever the top result is naturally. That'll be far better than just going for the sponsored things. And HubSpot as well is a really good resource. I highly recommend using HubSpot and Social Sprout to find out sort of up-to-date information on social media and trends and all that sort of thing.
Nice.
Yes.
I imagine we'll be diving more into that over the coming episodes.
We'll definitely
we'll keep track of it, see how it's going.
We'll definitely do some more of it and keep an eye on it for sure.
Definitely. Which ties us into our next bit. What are we doing next? So our first Mario episode drops tomorrow, along with the trailer clips for socials. So that will tie into exactly what we've just been saying. We'll be monitoring how well those perform, how well they drive traffic and engagement. In theory, we'll have the social clips on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook that will drive people towards YouTube and Twitch as well by normal effect. So that's the goal. So we're going to look at how our numbers improve over the coming weeks as they start rolling.
Yeah, really I'm umming and ahhing about Reddit. I say that. I say no. Do not think so.
Problem with Reddit is, and
they don't like promo, do they? Like they have all these channels,
hate
they don't
promotional
like promo.
things.
Thing is, it's the reason I mention it is because whenever I Google anything to do with a game, Reddit is top.
Oh yeah,
Reddit is always top, and I don't know how. There must be a way we can do it where we can like link to us that's not saying go watch this video. You know what I mean? Like there must be.
It's very hard. The thing with Reddit is not like one place to post. It's like a million different groups and pages to post. Every single one of these groups has different rules.
It's like and Facebook groups rather than just Facebook.
But the thing is with these groups, most of them have very strict rules on what you can and cannot post. And most of the rules say no self-promotion.
No self-promotion.
If you post anything that looks like self-promotion, they will nuke it straight away and ban you. It is very hard to use Reddit for promotional purposes because you will just get nuked from every group you use. As you were saying, there are ways to try and post. That's the thing. You have to post things that are beneficial to the group in question.
Yeah, which
that will get you likes and upvotes.
To be honest, I don't hate that because sometimes I get content on social media that's really sales pushy all the time, and And social media, if you want to break into social media and do well, you have to have about no more than 20% sales and 80% value, at least. Because what someone, say you're selling, I don't know, handbags. Yeah, obviously once someone's bought the handbag, that has the value because you can use the handbag. But the 80% before then, people don't want to have a sales push all the time. That could be like a video, you know, a tattoo place, piercings, clothing, you know, a spa treatment thing. You have to have at least 80% value added to the user, which can be like funny cat videos and memes and here's a top tip. You know, you have to add that. And I think people often do actually the reverse percentage where it's 80% sales and 10 to 20% value. And I was just thinking then, like when we start doing videos on how to like troubleshoot stuff, you could do a Reddit post which is like how I fixed this.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you could write out, you know, the tutorial and then like put in the comments like the link to the, you know, a video tutorial here, because I see a lot of that for like troubleshooting stuff, but you do have to kind of work in reverse, which is like frustrating, but I'm also not like entirely against it, just from like a consumer point of view.
That's it, like it does
like,
make sense, but it makes it quite
harder
because
it really does.
I mean, there are groups, there are literally groups for Twitch stuff, and you can't post stuff about your own channel in them. Like they are just for talking about technical support and stuff. You cannot talk about what you're doing or try and get viewers that way because you'll just get banned.
Yeah, I'm in a lot of Facebook groups like that.
It is ridiculous. So the best thing we could do, and it sounds ridiculous, is to, let's say, go to a group about cats and post a photo of you and Joey.
Yeah.
That would do infinitely more. Like that sort of thing, because that is allowed. It's not self-promotion.
No.
But they'll see your face and go, oh, she's cute. That's a cute cat. I'll follow them. Then they'll click the profile and go, oh, they're on Twitch and YouTube.
That's the you've got
to work around it that way. It's hard though.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I only thought about it. I probably should have mentioned it after on the podcast, just because like when I search for anything to do with games, like yesterday or the day before, I was looking at how to do something in Final Fantasy. Oh, unlock the ocean fishing. Yeah. All of the results were Reddit.
Yeah, always. It's very popular.
Always. And like how to mine things better and like do gathering. Yep. All of it is Reddit. So I don't know, there must be a way.
I think that angle would be the best to take. The subversive angle.
Yeah.
You got to sneak it in.
Yeah.
Because if you go on any of those groups and say, hey, I'm going
me,
live on band.
That's it. You don't get a warning.
Care.
Don't get a warning. It's like kicked out.
No. We've tried using it in the past for things and it's just... It is a hassle. And then you could be in 10 different groups and you think you're posting in the right one, but if you've got the wrong group and you realise you're actually following the wrong rules in that one, you get banned by accident. It's just a hassle using it. But
when you post into them, you can't see before you click into them what their rules are. Similar with Facebook groups, like you have to go in individually, read the rules of each one. And actually, for one of the businesses I work for, I have a spreadsheet which has all the Facebook group names, the days you can post promotion, ones you can't post promotion in, even like only like certain like sub-threads in them that you can post the promotion in, because all of them have different rules. And so I've literally got like an Excel spreadsheet of like 50 to 100 Facebook pages on when you can and can't post in them and how, and like rules they have where you've got to like tag it as a certain thing, you've got to put like hashtag promotion on it so people know, and it's mad. So it's I think if you were really serious about it, you probably could get a lot back from it.
That was sudden. One more, hang on.
Una más.
Oh, I do apologise. Continue.
I feel like you get a lot from it if you like really put in the time, but it's also a lot of time.
That's it. Yeah, so it's something we could look at, but we'll see what happens. So that's fine. So that's all good. What about you? What are you going to be doing?
What am I going to be doing? More short videos, I reckon. I'm going to make a bunch of them. Also, we have a London trip coming up.
Yes.
Next week?
Pretty much.
Almost. 10 days' time.
Yeah, 10 days' time.
We are going to London. We're going to go see the Near concert. I can't remember where it is in London, but it's in London. And I think we'll probably take a lot of content then. We're going to go to the Hello Kitty Cafe.
I can't wait. I've always wanted to go. I cannot wait.
Look, You love like little cafe treats and snacks.
It'll be
and
cute.
cakes.
I'm
like,
up for it.
Don't,
It's fine.
No. Don't like you'll love it. You'll love it.
I will.
So yeah, we're going to go Forbidden Planet, all that sort of thing. So there's going to be lots of content we can make then. I've still got loads of content from the last time we went to London, the last 2 times we went to London, from December and October. I've got all of the FanFest content, which is about 100 videos.
And that cute shop we went to, we took a few things in there.
Minisco or something?
God knows, I cannot remember the name.
There's
but
a
it was
cute
cute.
shop.
We took lots of videos there.
Got that, yeah. So I've got so much content that I can make from,
Yep.
and we'll be doing more. And I would say that for making reels, just like take your phone with you and film content. It doesn't have to be like, we're very fortunate that we can afford to go to London on a fairly regular basis for fun events. But if you just go for a nice walk through your local park and just put like a nice quote over it on something that you've been thinking about or learning about, or just something motivational, like, you know, it hasn't got to be spending lots of money on it. You can just, you know, go and have a nice time. So yeah, I'm going to be definitely making more of them. I'll be doing the overlay for this now.
Yeah, that's it. You gave yourself another job there.
Yep. And should I do the question for our audience?
Yeah, I think you should.
I have a little question for you. Question for the audience. What creative work would you like to move forward with, and what has stopped you from doing it already? And you can email us these answers at creativequestcontact@gmail.com. That is creativequestcontact@gmail.com with your answers. Or you can answer them in the YouTube comments or wherever we promote this on social media, wherever you find us, you can answer that. What would you like to move forward with, and what has stopped you from doing it already?
We'd love to hear from you. Give us something to discuss next time.
Yes, all
Talk about your barriers.
fellow creatives.
Yeah, that's it, because we've all been there.
It's always the combination of time and money.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it always comes into it one way or another.
Oh,
isn't it?
yeah, definitely.
Time and money.
Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, we'd love to discuss a bit of that.
Yes.
So, send us your answers, and we'll talk about that next time. So now, what was the highlight of your month?
My month, yeah, because it's not fortnight.
Yeah, we missed one. So
I think the Lego stream we did last weekend, which we sadly haven't got on Twitch, do we, Farinir?
unfortunately not, because I made a boo-boo.
Why didn't you list that on the boo-boo list? That's a big boo-boo.
I was trying to be cool and not talk about my failures. No, I'm just kidding. I forgot. So we use a particular playlist for some of our stream music. And if you could name that for me, please.
Lo-fi girl.
I completely forgot the name of that. That's good. So we use that. And you can use that as long as you credit it properly in the title of your stream.
It's very fair.
Which is fair. I forgot to do it last time.
So he put the music on, but didn't credit the music.
That didn't go well.
So it didn't go well, did it?
No. So it turns out chunks of our video is muted. And
I wonder how much of it is.
Yeah.
Does it tell you? Because if it's only like one song, I'd be like, nah, just put it up.
that's
Because it mutes it automatically, doesn't it? And it lets you
doesn't
put it back up. So yeah, maybe we can... Does it tell
we'll check.
you?
It doesn't. No. We'll run through it, see how bad it is.
Because it is a really good stream.
It was.
We can show people.
I have it here. Where did I have it? Oh, it's here.
We can show people what we made.
Okay, you ready for this? Look at this. It's a Lego Chocobo.
This will encourage people to come over to YouTube.
Yeah, if you're just listening on a podcast right now, you need to pop over to YouTube.
Actually, no, it's not Lego. It's Mock Blocks.
Yes, it's Mock Blocks. This is not a licensed Final Fantasy product, but everyone knows this is a Chocobo, right?
But we did put a licensed Minecraft Steve on the Chocobo.
Look at that. It's got movable... Oh, hang on.
All of him moves. So it's funny. I bought Farinir a Final Fantasy VII
He stands
Lego
up. Oh, I love it.
set, and you bought me a Minecraft Lego set.
Yeah.
Neither of us read that both were posable and interactive. So when we were putting together, we were like, oh my god, his head moves. Oh my god, his wings move. His feet. Oh my god. Like I just thought he'd be like a static little
It was
guy.
so good.
He still would have been brilliant.
I've gone blurry.
But
there we go.
yeah, my camera went blurry earlier. But yeah, so much fun. So yeah, I really, really loved that. We'll try and figure a way that we can put that back up on Twitch because it's brilliant. We made a Lego, a Mock Block Chocobo, and a Lego Minecraft dungeon It had a specific name.
Yeah,
it was
Abandoned Mine, I think it was.
Abandoned Mine.
Yes.
I can't quite see the box, so I've still got it on my desk.
It was so good.
But it's not,
It was our
name.
first, like, proper, I wouldn't say craft stream, but, like, what would you call
Joint
it?
craft?
A joint craft stream, yeah.
Hobby
we haven't done that before. Normally you do
stream.
the craft and hobby streams while I'm at work and stuff. But this time we did one together.
And we had a totally new setup as well
the
for it.
setup was really cool.
Yeah.
It took some DIY. We had to completely remove Raven's monitor from the desk, clear the desk off completely.
Entirely.
And we had the PTZ camera that we use for our Joey cam.
And the speakers had to go, the keyboard had to go, the microphone had to move.
All of it. Cleared the whole
I'm
desk.
a messy gal. There's a lot
Yeah.
on this desk. Like, it took a while. It took a while.
So yeah, we had the camera behind the desk set like a meter back, so it was framed just over us, and we could use that to zoom in on things and move around
It was
the
so
frame.
good.
It
I
was
had
really
such
good.
a good time.
It worked really well. We
And
had so
it
much
was
fun.
really interactive. We had people
Yep.
coming and going and talking to us.
Did really
and
well.
Yeah, I definitely want to do more of them. More crafty
Yeah,
things.
more.
Really, really good
Way
fun.
more.
I like doing them with you as well. I don't mind doing streams on my own, but I definitely prefer having someone to like bounce off of. I do find it easier.
that's it.
Like it's okay if the chat's really busy, but if it's a quiet chat day,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
awkward.
Yeah,
Can't just talk to yourself.
I often do, but
So,
no,
yeah.
it's fine.
That went really well.
So that was really, really lovely. And so then, what was the highlight of your month,
Oh,
my darling?
watching Marvel's Echo.
I hadn't
was
even thought that's
good.
such a good one.
See?
Aw.
Now it was good. It wasn't like super fantastic. There were things about it that could have been better. I know they had like budget cuts and they cut it from 6 episodes down to 5 because of it.
Yeah.
And I think that could have filled out some of the little gaps that it had in character development and things like that. But what it did have that made it so good wasn't about Echo at all, which is funny. It was about Daredevil. We finally had Matt Murdock back as a real Daredevil, not the rubbish one we got in She-Hulk. It was beautiful. He was only in one scene, but it was like the best scene. It was so good. He had a fight scene with real impact and heft to it, and I've missed that so much. And it's everything else that came from that. Obviously, we had Kingpin back as well, and he was incredible. He wasn't like the naff cartoon Hawkeye version that we had a couple of years ago, which it was still great to see him back, but he wasn't his Daredevil self, you know.
It's such a love-hate character because you want to hate him because he's technically bad.
Yeah.
But you also kind of love him.
Yeah, he's
You also
so well done.
Kinda
that
like,
you
you have some kind of admiration, I
like,
guess.
if they ever killed him off, I'd be devastated.
Yeah,
He needs
he's
to
too
kick
good.
everyone's ass for the next 10 years.
Yeah, he's so good.
So it's great
and
seeing
the guy
him
who
back.
plays him is just made for that role. They
He's
couldn't
incredible.
pick anyone better.
No.
It is him. He is Kingpin.
incredible.
He is Fisk, without
Yep.
a doubt. So
Love
good.
it. So yeah, we've got him back, and it was brutal and mature and violent, which is what I think the Disney shows really needed. They teased that a couple of years back with when Moon Knight was coming out. They were like, "This is our most brutal show yet," but it wasn't. It was still soft. They still cut away from all the violence. It was good, but it wasn't violent like they teased it to be. So yeah, having Kingpin back in his violent self was amazing, and it was everything that's come from that since. So we've got news that Foggy and Karen are coming back for the new Daredevil show, as well as the actor that played Bullseye. The tease that they left us hanging with at the end of season 3, and then never fulfilled because the show was cancelled. I've been mad about that for years, but it's finally going to happen now. It's finally going to happen. I'm so excited. And they brought back the original stunt coordinator, so all the fight scenes will be... Oh, I couldn't be happier. I'm so excited. So yeah, it was Echo and everything that's kind of stemmed from that, because I think it's done so well for them that it's given Marvel a good shake, and they've realised that they need to just make Daredevil season 4, not the rubbish that they were trying to make. They've had a whole complete creative reboot of the new show, and it's so much for the best. So I'm genuinely pumped.
I did
for
love
that.
Echo. It was really good, really well done.
It was good.
It was really
It was
sweet.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
loved it.
very good. But
Very good.
it's Daredevil that's going to do it for me.
Oh, and we went and saw the new Ghibli film.
We did. That was a good time.
It's a very confusing time.
Very strange film, but good.
I would if you've never seen a Ghibli film, I would recommend watching some other Ghibli films first, just to set the tone of the madness.
Yeah.
If you've watched many Ghibli films, you will be able to appreciate it more on how insanely wonderful Miyazaki's mind is, because it's like a tribute to Ghibli. That's what I'd call it. It's like a tribute to the art and sort of creativity of Ghibli.
Yeah.
It's so just it's mad. Like the whole thing is just crazy, and over the top, but in the best Ghibli way possible. It doesn't really have much of a story to it. Like, the first half has a story, the second half just goes insane. But that's pretty
Bonkers,
on point
isn't it?
for a lot
It
of
goes
Ghibli films.
so off track, it's ridiculous.
It is just
It's
crazy.
like, is
it's
this
bonkers,
real?
mad.
Is this even real anymore? Is this a dream sequence? Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
the thing.
know.
It makes you constant, like, with every single second after the first half, you constantly go, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, you kind of almost feel like a bit sort of lucid watching it, because it's just so, it's like almost psychedelic in a way.
Yeah,
Like, it's
really
just
was.
so trippy and weird. Like, you cannot predict anything that happens in that film. It's just constant twists and turns.
Absolutely, man.
Which is, that's hard to do. That's very hard. So very good. It's very, very good. But yeah, I would definitely watch some other Ghibli films first, just so you can be in the mindset of Ghibli films when you go to see it, because it is crazy, but it's a wonderful time.
Absolutely mad. Loved it though.
I did just think, I've had my hair done for a while, but I think last time I would have had rainbow hair.
You probably did, yeah.
I have yellowy, bluey, greeny hair.
It's nice.
It is nice.
Again, you better be on YouTube so you can see this new hair.
Look at it. And I straightened all of it with the new straighteners you got me.
Yeah, worked
And
out
I
well,
was
didn't
like,
it? Whoosh, so sleek, so smooth.
So yeah, I just thought when I was looking when my camera like fixed out a second ago, and I was like,
I'm green.
I'm green.
I'm green.
I don't think I was all green last time. I feel like I was green and rainbow.
That's so funny. Yep. All
We're going to
good.
do you next, right?
Oh yeah, I'll go green.
Blonde, luscious.
Yep, I'll go green. I don't mind. So that's all good, I think. That brings us to the end of today's episode. Perfect. So again, if you feel like answering our little question there, contact us at creativequestcontact@gmail.com with your answers. We'd love to hear from you, as well as if you just have any other questions as well. Then we'll discuss that in the next episode in 2 weeks' time. Until then, though, we'll see you then.
And actually, we hope to see all of you tomorrow for the release of our first YouTube gaming series.
Yes.
Minecraft. Super Mario Wonder.
That's the one.
That's the one.
That's the right
I
one.
was thinking, I was looking at the
Thinking
set
ahead,
over there.
yeah.
Yeah. But we are going to do Minecraft too.
Oh,
but yes,
yeah.
we hope to see you all tomorrow on our YouTube. The links for that will be everywhere. I can't remember what our slashes for it.
No, nor can I. It's been a while. But it'll be in the show notes.
It'll be in the show notes.
Yeah. You can click that. Be fine. So yeah, we'd love to see you there. As if you're not already sick of hearing us on a Sunday every 2 weeks. Now you get Mondays as well every week. So yeah, we'd love to see you there. Drop a comment if you're there. Let us know.
Yes.
Let us know if you have a good time. Because we definitely did. But until then, we're out of here.
Right.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Bye.
Cheers.